This Raw Vision video is brought to you by Metro Solar, proud partner of the Richmond Football Club.
All right, we're joined by Tim Clark on Raw Vision, presented by Metro Solar. 96-point loss to the Richmond VFL side on Saturday against Werribee. A few days on, Tim, how do you assess the game?
I was very disappointing from our point of view. We just let Werribee play urbane football and they just could do whatever they wanted on the day. Our defence was average. And they controlled the footy, and every time we got the ball there was pressure on us, and our back line and midfield couldn't make the right decisions, which meant that we were forced to kick the ball long towards where their numbers were, and it was a pretty dirty day for us.
Are there any positives to take out of it?
Oh, look, in review you can always find positives, and we looked pretty hard to try and find them this week. Usually you find a few more, but players got some game time into them. Chris Newman came back for his first game, plays 3/4 of footy, and shows why he's a 250-game AFL player with some of his composure and the way that he went about his football on the day. Sammy Lloyd did some really good things as a forward, ended up with 3 goals, but he continues to play capable VFL football. Nathan Gordon continued and played a reasonable game, and these are guys who are potentially going to come back in. Our midfield was really well beaten on the day. Matty Thomas and Matt McDonough and Matt Arnott, those guys who were trying to push for senior selection. We just need them to play better.
You mentioned a few names there. Who was your Caden player of the round and what stood out for them?
The Caden player of the day, we had some good contributors. Jared Keisha was solid through the midfield. Toddy Elton had over 21 critical contests and keeps competing up forward. But I think the Caden player of the day this week would go to Sammy Lloyd. He kicked 3 goals. He provided a little bit of forward pressure and won some critical contests. So on a dirty day, it was hard to find one, but he wins the award this week.
Not looking for excuses, but how much strain does it put on the rest of the list when AFL listed players are unavailable due to injury or travelling requirements, as we saw last weekend?
Yeah, it makes it a little bit challenging in terms of knowing who your team is going to be week in, week out. But apart from that, it gives guys an opportunity. It gave us a chance to blood 3 guys who haven't played a VFL game yet, and unfortunately they came up against a pretty competitive Werribee side who they were ordinary the week before, and their coach really had them up and going, and they took it out on us. And like I said before, they were able to play urbane footy and just totally controlled the game.
8 rounds in, how have you seen the season as a whole to this point?
When I looked at the season before it started, we had a lot of excitement that was going to be coming through our VFL list, and a few of those guys have been injured, and a few of them have gone up to play senior footy, and I think it's been a great environment for the AFL players when they've had to come and prepare themselves to play AFL footy, and I think we've ticked that box with what we need to do at our VFL team. However, our performances over the last 3 weeks haven't been up to standard, and we're competitive, even though we lost a couple games in the first 5 rounds. But to play the type of footy we have in the last 3 weeks is disappointing, and it's un-Richmond-like. And hopefully after the bye, our boys can come out and play some good football for not only the footy club but also to put some pressure on AFL players.
From the development side of things, are you pleased to see the likes of Corey Ellis, Menadue, McIntosh and McBean go up to the next level and really show what they're capable of in AFL football?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Like I said before, we're really excited about our VFL team this year because of the youth that was in it, and some of the older guys that were going to be able to provide some leadership to those players. But because of some of the injuries to our depth players on our list, those guys have gone up and made debuts earlier than we may have thought. But they're really contributing well, and they're great to work with. All of our first year players are fantastic with their attitude. They turn up, they absorb all the information we give them, they train really hard, and you're starting to see the benefits of those players when they make the transition into AFL.
Looking towards the second half of the VFL season, the guys like Reece McKenzie, Jaden Short and young Georgie Castagna, are these the guys to be looking forward to pushing on in the second half?
Yeah, Jace has been he's been in fantastic form until he got injured. Now he's going to come back into our side in the next three weeks and give us plenty of run through the remainder of the year. Jaden Shaw continues to improve as a small forward for us and playing patches through the midfield. And Reece McKenzie, he's had a little bit of an inconsistent year with missing the odd game here and there, but he shows traits traits of what he's going to be able to bring either in the second half of this year or in the years to come. So, look, the boys are going well. We just need to put the performance on the park. The last 3 weeks, like I said, have been disappointing. We need them playing good, competitive Richmond football.
Perfect. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.